Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is the truly insane 2023 Cadillac Escalade V with a 682 horsepower supercharged 6.2 liter V8 under the hood. This thing is something special. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a quick tour. So I first want to say a huge thank you to Matt and the team at Wagner Cadillac here in Tyler, Texas for allowing me a peek at this one today. This one could be yours. Just go see the team over at Wagner Cadillac. I'll link their website down below. But I also want to say a big thank you to you, the fans, for helping us hit 45,000 followers on Facebook. What a way to celebrate, right? But let's take a look at what makes this V so special. If you followed us for any length of time, you know just recently, right around Christmas, we had the quote-unquote normal Cadillac Escalade and really loved it. It was very premium, but as you can see, looking under the hood of this one, this is what makes the V so special. This is a 682 horsepower, 653 pound-feet of torque, supercharged 6.2 liter V8 engine. And yes, you can see it is handcrafted by Caleb. So huge thanks to Caleb for the production of this V8. But Cadillac did not stop there. The V8 under the hood is just the tip of the iceberg. And look, yes, Cadillac puts a lot of V badges throughout this just to let you know you're in something special. So not only do you get the V branded heat shield on the underside of the hood, you get a little bit of accenting here on the airbox. And then closing the hood and taking a look at the overall style of this thing. So the V gets a V-specific front and rear fascia. So you can see basically the chin is a little bit different on this one. It's a little more aerodynamic, a little more performance oriented than that normal Escalade that we tested earlier. This is also more like the sport trim in that everything is blacked out. So no chrome, no brushed nickel, no brushed aluminum. Just a very dark look on this one, which I think really pops on this white. I like it so much. And of course we get LED headlights, LED running lights, LED turn signals, all the stuff from the Escalade that we tested earlier this year, or actually late last year at Christmas time. But then moving around to the side. So 22s are the only size wheel and tire that you can get on an Escalade, and that does not change here for the V model. We've got some Bridgestone performance rubber here wrapped around these unique dark wheels for the V model. Multi-spoke really helps set it off and let everyone know that you're in something a little bit special. And yes, those are red painted Brembo 6-piston brakes back there behind the wheels. I can tell you from a little time behind the wheels so far, they do bite and they do an excellent job of slowing this big beast down. If you're interested in what the rubber is, it's a 275/50 R22 from Bridgestone. And I unfortunately have not gotten to take full advantage of these wheels and tires. And then looking back behind the wheel and tire here, so this has standard Magna Ride and adaptive air ride suspension. So this gets both. So it is a very unique setup specifically tuned for the V. So it is a more performance-oriented version of what is a very comfortable suspension setup in other Escalades. And the air ride means it's adaptive. You can change the ride height as you go down the road, and the magnetic component of it means it can react extremely fast versus a standard non-magnetic system. You can see down here another way that others will know that you've got the performance version are the largest V badges I have seen on any performance branded Cadillac. These things are massive. So yeah, there's my hand, there's the V badge. It is huge. It's probably bigger than the original CTS V from back in 2003. And yeah, it's huge, but it matches with the overall size of this vehicle and the large Escalade or Cadillac emblems in the grille and on the tail. Looking at the rest of the side of this Escalade, it is standard sport package fare in that everything is blacked out on this model. You get black around the windows, black along the lower portion. It's a nice look on this white paint job. Really gives a nice contrast in the black and white there. Not too blingy like the more premium and premium luxury trims. And then moving back to the back here, you can see it is fairly standard Cadillac fare. You got that large Cadillac Escalade badge in the back. Across the tail right there, that large Cadillac emblem there that serves as the remote release for the hatch. And then you get a rather small V badge back here on the rear hatch. But down below that is what really sets this one off, and that is the quad exit exhausts that sound really good when you fire up that 6.2 liter V8. This one does have the remote kick to open tailgate, so you can come up behind it and just kick and hands-free open it back here. And of course, we did our full luggage test in not only this one, but in the one we had late last year. And with its 25 plus cubic feet of storage space behind the third row, yeah, this thing is truly massive, and it can swallow not only this, but all of our luggage without even folding that rear seat down. So I was really impressed with that. But if you want to see more about what the Escalade is like overall, go check out our solo video or our review of that one that we did late last year, because it really goes into further detail. Before we hop inside this one, I did want to show you the key. So it borrows the key from the Corvette, but this is becoming standard Cadillac key fob fare. And you can see, because it is the V model, we get the V on it, painted red, lock, unlock, remote start, which I love that you can do even with the doors open, hatch release, rear glass release, and panic. But you don't actually need that because it is a proximity key that does release thanks to an electronic pad here on the back of the door. And you can see that little Cadillac crest right there. Yeah, that is actually how you lock the door, and that is only on the front two, but you can get into all four from that proximity key. And then I just want to take a minute to show you a little bit before I hop in the seats here. We've got this zebra wood pattern here that really pops in the sunlight. It's a very premium look to the model we had earlier, or late last year. And then looking on the side of the seats here, not only are these heated, not only are they ventilated and multi-positional, but they do have a massage function, and that's what that button does right there. It's an air bladder massage that is rather comfortable. And then looking at the seats, I really like how Cadillac and GM are doing this contrasting piping on a lot of their seats, really sets them apart. And the stitching pattern of these are semi-aniline leather seats, and they are very soft and very luxurious. But you want to see what it looks like inside. We hop in, close the door, standard Cadillac thunk there, and then we get the animation of the Escalade driving up to you. There's your V badge, which replaces the Cadillac logo that is in lesser models. And you can see, you might be wondering what this is. This is part of Cadillac Super Cruise, as is this light here. If we were on a LiDAR mapped road, we can actually drive this hands-free. This is a camera watching my eyes to make sure I'm still paying attention. And this is the status indicator light. Unfortunately, we don't have this one long enough to take it out to the interstate and truly test this out. But you can let us know down in the comments if you want to see how this works. And we will reach out to Cadillac and see if they won't send us a V model for testing. But you want to hear what this thing sounds like from the inside. Let's fire it up. Yep, so the real story of this one is that 6.2 liter V8 under the hood. There are some tweaks on the inside here to let you know you are in something special, but really this takes the platinum trim Escalade and puts that powertrain in the nicest and most luxurious one that they've got. This gauge cluster is a little more race inspired than other models of the Escalade, but otherwise it's pretty much standard fare here. You get the 38 inches of curved OLED up front here, do a good job of telling you everything you need to know. And yeah, you can see right there, there are only 22 miles on this vehicle, but we're averaging 3.6 mpg, which goes to tell you a lot about how this one is probably going to be driven. Another interesting note that makes this different than other Escalade models is this V badge that is kind of hidden back behind the wheel. In other models, I think this is just a slot for like parking tickets so that you can get out of parking garages. But very interesting that they put this V badge here that you really can't see behind the steering wheel. Typical steering wheel here, you get all your radio controls, cruise controls, your talking function where you can actually talk to third row passengers, and they've got a mic back there, so you really can hold a conversation in this large vehicle, even though it is really massive. Otherwise, pretty standard Escalade fare in here, especially if you've been in or tried out, sat in, ridden in the platinum level. This one really is nice. You can see infotainment screen here, very easy to use, climate controls, electronic gear selector here, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. We get USB-A, USB-C here, a little storage right there, and two forward and aft cup holders that are covered in this massive wood panel here. The best Qi wireless charger of any vehicle that I've tested because it holds it in there tight. It actually charges it instead of just maintaining a charge. I really like what Cadillac has done with that one. And then again, just more standard fare, but this one has got the cool box here in the center console. So you can see this button right here actually helps cool this off. So if you wanted to keep some drinks cold on a road trip or on a hot day out at the track in your Escalade V, that's a nice way to do it. And close this here, and I did want to do something I don't normally do, show you the window sticker. This one stickers for $157,190. So when the Cadillac XLR V, which was a reskinned Chevy Corvette with a North Star supercharged V8 under the hood, when it came out back in the early 2000s, it was the most expensive Cadillac ever made, cresting the $100,000 mark. And you can see here in 2023, we're well past that in this Escalade V series. This one does have some optional extras on it, including that console fridge at $700. That crystal white paint color is $1,225. But yeah, look at that number right there. 11 city, 16 highway, 13 combined. That's if you're not driving it like me, because I really like the sound of that V8 under the hood. I'm just going to peek back here to the back seats because it is more of the same from the Escalade that we tested earlier this year, and just a more upscale, nice design on the seats, better covering on the seats, being that these are semi-aniline. But I really, really like the panoramic skylight on this one. Massive panel here that actually opens for the front passengers, and very large panel back there for the back passengers, and a rather usable third row seat. So yes, this thing, thanks to its independent rear suspension, its longer wheelbase and longer overall length, is actually usable for 7 adults and all their luggage, and makes for quite a compelling vehicle that will not only be the talk of all the town because everybody will hear you coming, but will also be something fun to be riding around in as well. Speaking of which, why don't we take this one for a little bit of a drive? All right, so getting in, buckling up, firing it up. That sound just does not get old. It is such a fun vehicle. Now, one thing I did not cover when doing a quick interior tour So what's behind this electronic shifter? Because that's auto hold, and then on the right we've got our lane keep, but in the middle we've got this V button, and that is V mode. And when you press it, you can see the engine, or the screen here, goes to your performance screen. So you can adjust your steering, your suspension, your engine and shift points, your brake feel, engine sound, so that you aren't just completely blasting out your neighbors, and all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive comes standard as a 50-50 split front and rear, but you can adjust it up to 70-30 rear and front. So you can put up to 70% of the power back there in the back. And you can find out just a little bit more of what all of those things do by hitting the info button here. But really cool setup there. And while you're in V mode, you can set all this exactly how you would like it, and then it latches. It remembers exactly where you had it for each driver in the driver profiles. So you get it the way you want it, and there you have it. While you're also in V mode, you get launch control. Now, given that this is from a dealership and going to be somebody's someday very soon, probably before you even see this video, I'm not really gonna do a traditional launch in this one. So I'm not gonna try out that launch control, but I'm gonna give it a little gas and see what 682 horsepower in an all-wheel drive Escalade can really do. I am in a parking lot, so let's go. Oh. The sound, more than anything, is, oh, listen to it, just burbling and popping back there. That is what makes this thing so different than every other Escalade on the road. Yes, there is a 6.2 in most other Escalades. You can opt them with a 3-liter turbo diesel inline 6 or this supercharged 6.2-liter V8. And the exhaust in this one, I already mentioned you can't adjust the way that sounds, but here in V mode, oh, that's the best. And oh, it pops and cracks when you get on the brakes, and it just sounds amazing. It sounds like everything you would want it to be in a performance Escalade, performance Cadillac. And Cadillac has quite the performance pedigree. Ever since launching the V sub-brand, performance sub-brand, they've gotten back into racing, and they're even teasing getting into F1. So we'll see how that goes, but Cadillac is quite serious about performance, and the V moniker was their initiation into the performance vehicle realm. And this thing is nothing to sneeze at. It's quite a serious beast. Unfortunately, again, because this will be somebody's very soon, I don't really want to abuse this one, given that it only has 23 miles on the odometer. So I do need you to comment down below. Let me know that I need to tell Cadillac, send us one of these for a week's worth of testing. And those are meant for, you know, stretching their legs a little bit more than something that will be somebody's very soon. Oh, that's intoxicating. Yeah, I can see what we're in the 3 MPGs in the first 20 miles of life of this vehicle. Yeah, I would have a heavy foot if I had this vehicle. That is for certain. I think I would always have it in V mode. My neighbors wouldn't like me so much, but you would know when I'm coming. I do want to thank you once more for helping us reach the 45,000 follower mark on Facebook. That is quite the achievement. I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. You can find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can just head on over to gtgaragetalk.com. You can also be sure and, hit all the buttons down below. Subscribe, follow, ring the bell, so you're notified every time we post new content and share more fun stuff like this Escalade V. Huge thanks again to our friends at Wagner Cadillac here in Tyler, Texas, for allowing us just a little bit of time in this vehicle from their lot today. Again, I really don't want to abuse it because it could be yours. Link down in the description. Tell them Corey sent you. I don't get anything from it. I just get more opportunities just like this. where I get to drive something really fun. Till next time, gearheads. Bye.